Get your notes out. We can make this quick if you guys listen. So sit down, please. Oh no. All right, sit down. Computers away, please. All right. Oh, I always forget to take attendance. Okay, so last week we learned about. Do you remember what we learned about? Yeah, we did triangle congruence. Okay, so with triangle congruence, all right, you're using your notes. What were the 5 ways we could prove a triangle is congruent? Raise your hand. Yeah, there's side, side, side. Side, angle, side. Angle, side, angle. Angle, angle, side. Who can tell me the last one? And what does HL stand for? No. Hypotenuse leg. Okay. Now, you have to remember these 5, okay? Because we're going to keep using these, all right, for our next parts, okay? So, when we use these 5, we were proving that what is congruent? 2 triangles are congruent, okay? And we were filling out those flow charts where you're proving the sides and the angles on which ones are congruent. You remember doing that? It was something that looked like this. You guys remember filling this out, right? Let's look at number 1 though. All right. Hey, we gotta quit chit chat. Okay. This one. All right. What is this going to be an example of? Which of the 5? No. This is angle, angle, side. Because we follow it. We follow the congruent symbols. There's 2 angles, there's 1 side. You either get side, angle, angle, or angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side is the only one we talk about. Okay, because if you flip SAA, that's AAS. Now, listen. We put angle, angle, side on the bottom here, okay? Because that's where we have to put the triangles are congruent. All right? So now let's label the 3 boxes because each of these 3 boxes need to stand for one of the letters. All right? So which letter should we start with first? Yeah, we can start with angle H, okay, because that's going to stand for our first A. Angle H is congruent to what? Angle T, and that's given. T's over here on the other triangle. Okay. Our next one is going to be an A because that's our next angle. What other two angles are congruent? No. Angle G and angle U. And this is given. Where are you getting F and F? But those angles aren't, like, they're not shown congruent. Now, what's our last one? It has to stand for our side. So what do we put here? Yeah. FG is congruent to VU. And this is also given. All right. Now we have to pay attention, and we have to, in this one, we're proving that 2 triangles are congruent. So I'm going to put triangle blank is congruent to triangle blank. I'm going to say triangle HGF is congruent. Now I have to follow the letters correct. What angle did we say was congruent with H? T. So since H is first, T's got to be first. What's going to be my second letter? U. Third letter? V. Okay. That's what we did last week. But if you notice on these, it's got an extra box. Thank you for asking. Well, I'm going to tell you why. All right. What does it say at the top? Does it tell us to prove that two triangles are congruent? No. No, it doesn't. No. This time it says prove angle F is congruent to angle V. Okay, so last week we were proving that two triangles are congruent. The only thing that's different here is we are proving two angles are congruent. So if you notice, we did the same thing already like we did last week, but it's just one additional box. All right? What we're going to put right here is the angles that it asks us. Angle F is congruent to angle V. Yeah, it's that last, whatever we're proving is the last statement, because these are statements, these are reasons. Okay? Now, our reason here, all right, is abbreviated. All right? And here's what it's going to be. Cpctc. Cpctc. So write Cpctc. Okay? Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Cpctc. Now, all these letters stand for something, like our side, side, side is SSS. This is going to be congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Okay? That's why we're abbreviating it, because I don't want you to write this whole thing. That's supposed to say triangles. Okay? We're just going to put Cpctc. So go ahead and say that back to me. Cpctc. You got to just remember that. When we use Cpctc, this is proving angles or sides are congruent. All right? Cpctc is when we prove that angles or sides are congruent. What about when we use these? What are these proving? These five up here. These are proving that triangles are congruent. So the only difference is we add one more box, you put what we're proving, and you just put Cpctc. Okay? That's what you put in the bottom box? Yes, every time. So, just like I did right here. Look at the very first one. See how I put Cpctc? That's the only difference. So all we're adding is this box. We did all of this Thursday. We're just adding this box. And all it is just putting what you're proving. All right, angle F is congruent to angle V. And the reason is Cpctc. Okay, let's just do one more example. Okay, so let's listen so we know what we're doing. Okay, this one, when I look at these two triangles, okay, what is this going to be an example of? Correct. This is side angle side. The angle's in between the two congruent sides. So I'm going to go ahead and put that as my reason. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and mark side angle side right here so I know what to do. All right. Let's start with our first triangle, GF. What is GF congruent to? ST. I got to put ST. Why do I have to put ST? Because G was first, and G and S are or think of it as F and T are congruent, so those are both the second letters. What's my reason for this? Next, all right, my second letter's angle. So let's do angle. What two angles are congruent? F is congruent to T. What's my reason? Finally, we want to do the final side. All right, what's the final side that's congruent? Side. EF is congruent to no UT, because T and F are congruent. And my reason is, now I have to put the triangles are congruent. So triangle blank, let's say triangle GFE is congruent to, who can tell me the correct? That's a T. STU. All right. Now, listen. Okay. Angle, no, it does not say angle this time. What does it say? I keep moving up and down. What does it say this time? It says GE is congruent to SU. So I'm putting that in the last box. GE is congruent to SU. And what do we always put when we're proving sides are congruent? Cpctc. Okay? Do we have questions about this? Now, listen carefully. On Thursday, we did an assignment and I said it was due Friday. All right? Luckily for some of you, I moved the due date to today. So you better do it today.
I did it late.
Yeah.
Stayed up till 2 for nothing.
Why'd you stay up till 2? You could have just looked.
It was due at midnight, so
Yeah, it was due at midnight.
I didn't know that. Either way, yeah. So, yeah,